Good morning, y'all. Good morning, and welcome back to Alicia's Crafty Hoplop. Happy Tuesday to you. Happy Tuesday. I've been catching up on your videos and finding out what y'all are up to this week. Many of us are doing crafty rework and what I call crafting inventory. And y'all know I hurt my back, so it's been a slow process because I can't bend still. But I'm coming on this morning with something that I'm calling my favorite dies of 2020. There are, very few dies I haven't liked. You'll note that there's really only one die that I say is my dead die of the year. What you'll also notice is that the selection spans Ali, Sizzix, Spellbinders, Crafter's Companion. So it includes a lot of dies from a lot of different places. Hopefully this will be helpful to you and also interesting. And I would like to know what your favorite dies are. I thought about could I do this with stamps, and it would be much tougher. I'd have like 30. Because I've learned that I love Picket Fence, I love Stamping Bella, I love Penny Black, I love Hero Arts, I love Waffle Flower for their floral stamp. Oh my goodness, I could go on about stamps forever. But dies, actually the choices were pretty simple. So I thought I would share this with you. Y'all know I love to have an embellishment die. I like to make embellishments. For me, it's one of the most joyful things to make in crafting. We all have our favorites, and I love embellishments. So for me, this is still my favorite die of all time. Now, I got mine at InLoveArts. It cuts cleanly every time. It's sharp. It cuts, even though it's a thin lid, it cuts through thick paper. I have not had it dull. I have not had to replace it. I love this die. You all know from InLoveArts, I also ordered the Deckled Edge die for vintage embellishments, and it became my other favorite die. And I have used the heck out of this die set, y'all. The heck out of it. Still one of my favorite dies. It made the favorite die list. All right, the next one is from Alina. There are all sorts of ticket dies out there. There's a big giant ticket die like Cynthia Aguilar made for me. They're the Tim Holtz. Now, I love the Tim Holtz ticket stamps. I use those all the time. I did not order the dies. I fussy cut those out, and there's a reason for that. I'm not sure if I'm going to order them or not this year because I make so many tickets so often. But for ticket dies, this is by far my favorite, and I'm going to tell you why. I love the stamps from Tim Holtz. But here's what's special about the Alina die. Not only does it stitch, it keeps one piece. So you have an option. I like to make ticket embellies with an eyelet and dangles. And this comes out in one piece. And you can build this up on 110. And then you have this really cute ticket embellishment. Or you can cut it with a perforated edge and have individual tickets and stamp sayings on them. For me, this is such a versatile die. Now, I will tell you, it does warp over time a little bit. I now have 3 of these. I ordered 1, fell in love, ordered 2 more. That's how many of these I gift to people in packages, that I needed to have 3. I'm in love with this die. I'm always going to be in love with this die. For me, it ranks in the top 5, for sure. Much to my surprise, this inexpensive set from Sizzix became one of my favorite dies this season. You can see it still has a little bit of paper in it. Clearly, I need to clean my dies. That's part of the crafting inventory. Why? This die became such a useful die. I used it for embellishments because of the circle. So it looks great if you layer this over this. Look at that, y'all. It's like perfect. If you layer this over those plastic snowflakes from the Dollar Tree, it's perfect. I use this die over and over and over again this holiday season. It's one of my faves. This set, y'all, I also use the wreath. This set is super inexpensive. I think it's full price $11 or something. Half price it was like 4 something. This is one of my best purchases. This came from Sizzix. So that's exciting. Y'all know I just hauled this little box die, and it's already one of my favorites. It stays together without glue. It's so well designed because of the little floppy flaps. I love this mini box die. I wish they'd make a bigger one. I truly do. My next one is going to shock you because I'm not a Spellbinders kind of gal. And you didn't see my packages going out for the holidays because I was rushing to get them done. But this became one of my favorite dies. It's great for card making. It cuts beautifully. I use the Michaels either rose gold foil or the gold foil paper. It looks so pretty. Yeah, I'm surprised, but this actually is a winning die, and it's one of my favorites. So there you go. From Kaya's Craft, I adore their French Fry Box. I love the size of it. It's not super big. It's not super mini. For me, it's just right like Goldilocks. It does come with a ton of layering pieces. I don't always use them because I decorate mine and build it up. Cuts cleanly every time. I'm a fan of that die. The other KS Craft die that I really love and I use all the time, and it's in my favorite, I have a box of organized dies called Favorite Dies. and that's where these come from. There is the heart layering die from KS Craft. I have other bow dies. I don't have tons. P sent me some, which I love, but I do love this heart layering die, and especially since you all are thinking about Valentine's Day, those of you doing Valentine's Day swaps, this is a great die. It really is. It looks beautiful. It creates nice flat bows that look good on packaging, on cards, on everything, and it's easier to send overseas. I love this die so much. My next fave is also from InLoveArts, and for a while it was not available. They stopped producing it, and I didn't know why, and I told them so. Because this is one of my, I don't like Memdex making. You all know that. You almost never see me make a Memdex. I used to make them all the time in the Holy Land. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm bored of them, I don't know. But I like this Memdex die a lot for a number of reasons. One is you have an option. So either you can use this and use this as your Memdex piece, or you can build it up and have a gatefold, which is nice. So you could just send this out as like a card and a Memdex and it all fits together. Or you can make a cute window shutter for different seasons. It's got a lot of versatility. That's why I like it. I also like the size of the smaller one. So for me, this is my favorite Memdex die, even over the witch one. This is my favorite. But this wasn't available for a long time from DIY Art Bin. Sorry, InLoveArts, not DIY. Maybe DIY Art Bin carries it too. But InLoveArts is where I got mine. And they've brought it back, y'all. They've brought it back. So you can get it again. And I love this die. So that's one on my fave list. The Crafter's Companion fairies are on my fave list. I use these all the time. I bought these at the Crafter's Companion sale last year because these are technically Christmas. They're from the Enchanted Christmas series. And I bought a pack for Elvia, but I don't think she ever got it because of COVID mail. We don't know what happened. And unfortunately, I sent it first class, not with tracking. That was my mistake. That's why sometimes, y'all, it's worth paying an extra few dollars for the priority. But I do love this die set. And you saw I made a dangle. I converted it into a charm. These make great embellishments. They make great shaped tags. They make cute dangles. They cut out, I mean, they're a bit fussy. You need wax paper. But one thing about a Crafter's Companion die is they do cut. And so I really am a fan of this die set. I use it a lot for a lot of different things. And you know, I like things to do with different things. And with this, I'll make a shaped tag. I'll make a dangle. I'll make cards. Yeah, I love this die. I do. The next one's going to surprise y'all. I'm going to tell you that because y'all, you know, I'm not sorry, I had this out to show you next. It is fussy. I'm going to tell you that. Tony's right. It's fussy, fussy, fussy. But there are very few flower dies available that look super pretty, that are semi-flat, that you can mail overseas inexpensively. And once you play with this, it has a lot of artfulness. What I will warn you about is these stamen top pieces are so finicky. Use tweezers. That's a piece of advice, or you're going to tear them. Doesn't matter what quality paper you use, be very careful. But they do give you a lot of artistic versatility. I have made these in so many different styles. I've made them in Sweet Story crepe paper. I've made them in shabby. They're fantastic once you get used to them. But it takes a while. So I wouldn't order this at full price. I would wait if you can get this on sale like I did. Then you won't be so irked as it takes you 3 weeks to figure out how to make it work well without tearing everything. But if you have a delicate hand, you won't have a problem. I don't have a delicate hand. It took me a while. But I do love it, and it did make my favorite flower die list. This is going to surprise you. I know that other people who got this in their package did not love it the way I did. I don't know if they got a dud. This is an InLoveArts base. I have used the heck out of this piece from that set. I make tags with it. I make cards with it. I make ornaments with it. And any die that gives me 3 or 4 uses and cuts as beautifully, I also love the size. The other thing I'm going to tell you is that if you look at something comparable from a competitor, this is much less expensive, even at $8. So I'm thrilled with this. This is also from InLoveArts. I'm thrilled with that die. Would I pay $8 for it? Yeah, it's that consistent. Any die that's this useful for me that I can use over and over again, I know I'm putting out money for. You see, what's interesting about my collection of faves and non-faves is that they're a mix of full, like, head-on designer like Sizzix or Spellbinders or Hero Arts, and they're a mix of Ali, and they're a mix of InLoveArts, who I represent. But this didn't make my list because I'm in love with InLoveArts or representing them. It made my list because I use it so much, and it works each and every time. All right, so my last one is the die that I'm most disappointed in, and you know, maybe you'll feel differently. And unfortunately, this one's unopened because I bought it as a goodie for someone that I'm about to mail a package to. And now I feel bad. I hope she has more success with it than I do. It is the Sizzix Thinlit pillow box. Now, I have a steel ruled pillow box that I got from a different company. I think it's Creative Expressions. I love it. I don't care for this. What I do care for is the flower. That's what's crazy. Sizzix, this has an unusual piece set. I love the flower it makes. And it's nice that it comes with this built up kind of, it's meant to be kind of poinsettia-like, but kind of not. And I actually love the flower piece. And I wish Sizzix did a whole series like this. But in terms of the box, I find it faster to make it on my own without the die. So for me, this is my one dud purchase this year. And unfortunately, I bought it as a goodie for someone. I hope they like it a lot more than I do. It's hard to find a box die, y'all, in Thinlit. So, like, most of them are steel rule, and not everybody has the capacity in their machines. And that's why I ordered it. But for me, this was more work than it was worth. So, that is my faves and my one bus purchase, which isn't bad. The fact that I only have one die that I would say to you, do not order this, is really not too bad. But I'm interested to hear what your best is of 2020. What are your favorite dies and why? I hope this was super useful for you. And yeah, my schedule is working a little bit better today. Let's hope that continues. And I'll see y'all later today. Wishing for you a creative and healthy day, y'all. Bye for now.